Welcome back into the drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. We are joined by one of the big men, Brian Parker, redshirt junior offensive tackle for Duke, second team All-ACC last year, whole bunch of All-American nods coming into this year. We'll start with maybe the difference between last year and this year, Brian, and thank you for your time. You've blocked for Riley Leonard, Malik Murphy, now Darien Mensah, varying degrees of mobility. Do you like what's kind of your preference, right? The pocket passer, you know where he is, or the guy that might bail you out of trouble with his legs?
They all got their pros and cons, but definitely a guy that can get out with his legs helps you. A little less sacks, a little less pressures, but he's running out of that pocket more often.
That does the misdirection of it, right? Like the defensive lineman suddenly takes off left. Did you know where a guy like Mensah is because he has those abilities with his legs?
You trust him back there, and so the biggest thing is not to get that holding call by hanging on to that D lineman when he changes direction.
6'5", 300. Is that about right? That's what we're looking at?
About 310 now.
310. I was going to say, do we like the weight? Or are we trying to pack on a little bit more?
About 310 is where I want to play.
All right.
I'm happy where I'm at.
This is just for I know the offensive linemen probably get this question too much, but I think our listeners enjoy it. Over there, let's say we got a breakfast buffet. Like what are we loading up on? How much? Give us a quantity estimate.
Yeah, upstairs started off with the fruit section, big fruit guy. Then went to 2 scoops of eggs, big thing of potatoes. And then a bunch of bacon.
That's the way to handle it. Brian Parker, Duke redshirt junior offensive tackle, sitting with us here at ACC Kickoff in Charlotte. Can you? Is it your first cousin? Is Derek Lively Jr.?
Yes.
All right. So Derek Lively Jr. was it the same recruiting class?
Yep.
All right. So you both show up at Duke. He's on the basketball team. You're on the football team. He's one and done, 12th overall pick into the NBA with the Mavericks. What were those backyard sporting events like when, like at family holidays or get-togethers?
Thanksgivings were always competitive. My aunt worked for Penn State. We used to go up there for the November game every year and play backyard football up there. It was always a big family thing.
So let's say, obviously, you're All-American. We're gonna give you football. He's in the NBA. We're gonna give him NBA. If we lined up like soccer, baseball, swimming, like every other sport, which one do you come out on top?
I think I come out on a lot.
Yeah.
That extra length has got me a little difficult to be overly good in the fine motor skills.
All right, 6'5", 300. And you're going, he's too big. Yeah. All right, I like that one.
7'2" is a little too tall for me.
That is. So I've got some cousins played in the NFL, played in the ACC, and interest in the rest of the family, excluding the All-Americans in the NBA. Who's the best athlete in the family?
That's a hard one. All my cousins played D1 basketball as well. Yeah.
Where else are we talking?
We're talking Arkansas State and Mississippi State down south. And then both my grandfathers played basketball, one at Bucknell, one at Xavier.
So how do we end up on the football field? It sounds like you are a part of a basketball dynasty.
My dad played football at Bucknell, so I was a little shorter, a little stouter than the rest of the family.
All right, give us the childhood then. If you came home and said, I want to play the saxophone, how would that have gone over?
I don't think I was ever going to be a warrior in my family.
All right. A little history there. Well, then let's dive into the competitiveness. Looking at your schedule, right? There's TJ Parker. There's Peter Woods at Clemson. I wrote down some Gabe Akis from Illinois, Mo Westmoreland from Tulane. These are guys that I grabbed off of like NFL draft edge rusher lists for this upcoming draft. Do you look forward to those games? Are you circling those games? How does your competitiveness come out when you're facing other guys that have NFL futures?
Obviously, for my own dreams, those are important games. Really, as much as I look forward, I'd like to take it week by week, but those are definitely guys that are on my preseason radar. Guys I want to watch a little extra film on. They're great players and somebody I want to be ready for when the time comes.
The own personal dreams, obviously professional sports on that with another year or two, depending on how things go before you have to make those decisions. Do you have an idea? Have you searched out maybe what they want to see from you or what they want to improve from you at the next level?
Definitely want to be a little bit faster of a finisher. Sometimes I play a little too much into the scheme. So I gotta find ways to break out of the scheme a little bit and finish a little bit more. Would probably be my biggest knock right now.
How do you do like that? That's an in the moment thing, right?
Yeah.
That's a when I see a guy off balance, I got to kick him and have fun. How do you work? Like, there's not like a drill for finishing nastier.
It's really staying in the mentality because everybody says every game's the same, but bigger games, you have higher emotions, and so it's easier to find yourself in that kind of mental state. So I need to find ways and work on ways to make sure I can keep a more consistent emotional investment into every game, no matter the.
Brian Parker joining us here, offensive tackle for Duke, All-American on a whole bunch of lists. Bill Steele, third team preseason All-American coming into the season. When you talk about circling big games, you've been at Duke during this rise, right? The first time you've had game day on campus, and a whole bunch of other similar, field rushings and everything else. Do you think Duke gets the respect it maybe deserves yet, even with things like where does game day go or preseason lists and this sort of thing?
I don't think so. I think there's still the stigma. We had a few rough years back in the 2018 to 2022 area, and so I still think that stigma sticks. We're working out of it, but it's still there. You can tell people are like, "Oh, Duke football, like, you guys won 9 games last year? Like, what?"
Well, it was 9, 8,
Yeah,
9 the
yeah.
last 3.
Mhm.
How do you break that? Can you break that? Like, what are the things you need to do to take that next step?
I think winning those bigger games, we've been close. I would say you gotta look at college game day. That was my first start. Come up short against Notre Dame. Um, Last year came up short against SMU, had a 2-score lead against Miami, kinda let that go. So these kind of things where we need to finish, I would say it's more of a belief in ourselves, but this year we have an older squad, guys have been here for the Clemson game when we beat them a few years back, where we now believe, like, no longer it's like, "Oh, like, maybe we go out there and upset somebody." It's like, we're gonna go out there and play our game, and we believe that anybody has to come in and beat us, not we have to get lucky to beat them.
First start, game day, Notre Dame, classic game, right? Comes down to the wire.
Yeah.
There's injuries, a whole bunch of stuff. What was it like having that piece your to starting Division One?
Yeah, luckily I had a great mentor, Graham Thornton, who's now at the Bucks. He really helped me. He was the guy I had to play for because he was gonna be out about midway through the week. So really the biggest thing was calming your nerves and trusting in myself because I had been playing like 40, 30 snaps a game before that, rotating in. So it was like, you've done this before. It's not like you're fresh out there. It's your first start. Just take a deep breath, go out there and be who you are and play.
Don't steal Graham Short, right? Always
Yeah.
with the Bucks. He's one of the top draft picks
Yeah.
and starting
First round draft pick.
yeah, there you go. Do you still talk with him? What is he telling you about a season like this where you have the opportunity to level up?
Yeah. We'll talk with him, a great friend. I lived with our center, Matt Craycraft. We were both really good friends with him, so we keep in touch pretty often. And he, just giving us little pointers about how he helped. Because really, that group of guys is the ones that brought Duke football out of the trench it was in. And so, being able to lean on him and some of those older guys like Monk and some of the Duke O-line greats really help us kind of push the ship forward and keep it going.
One of the things we're gonna talk with your coach. We're gonna talk with a few other players that I'm gonna bring up is the most recent numbers I could find. It's not the easiest thing is third fewest players in the country leaving in the transfer portal. When it seems like everybody is losing 10, 12, 15, 20 players every year. Uh, what are you like standing in the door, pass blocking? Like
Yeah.
you're not letting them leave. How do you get such buy-in from everyone on the depth chart?
Duke itself is such a great attractor. The people there really are special. I mean, it sounds cliche to everybody on the outside, but you are really surrounded by a very high caliber person and people. It just attracts everybody, and the locker room we have really is a close locker room, I would say. I've got friends all around college football. I went to a bigger high school, plenty of guys in Power 4 these days, and they can't believe it when we talk on the phone. I'm like, "Yeah, nobody wants to leave. Like, we'll stay here, and we believe in what we have, and, like, we wanna like, the class I came in with, like, we were like, hey, like, when we came in, we're like, "We're gonna change this around. We've been here to do that." Now we're like, "Well, we're gonna finish the job."
You brought up your high school. We'll talk with Brian Parker, redshirts junior Duke offensive tackle. Are you aware you're in like a Saint X legend city?
Yeah,
Luke,
Luke Kuechly,
Luke Kuechly,
the
right?
man, the myth, the legend.
Is at your high school? Is it like around here where you just go Luke, everybody is automatically in the mood?
Yeah, no, Cincinnati's a really big town, but small town. So everybody knows Luke. He's a great guy. Shows up pretty often back to X. Really supports the Honors back home, so he's a great guy.
All right. Like I didn't even intend to do this, but I kind of led you down 10 different name dropping avenues here. If you have some advice on handling whatever, right? Pursuits to the next level, all American odds. Are we calling like the family because you have all these Division One cousins, NBA cousins? Are you calling Graham Barton because you're good buddies and he's your mentor? Or you call him Luke because he's your high school mentor? Like who in the circle is the one you're looking towards for advice?
Luckily, I kind of whatever the problem comes up is or the situation, I kind of mix it around. Like as far as it is like playing in the league, and, like the league that's Graham, or like if it's life beyond college, how handling everything outside, like how to stay locked in. Derek, he's really like my brother. We grew up together doing everything, and parents are also my rock for as much as anything. It's really hard. Whoever's at the top of whoever I call last probably gets the call.
Hey, that is a great problem to have. And lean on them in a lot of ways, and hopefully it leads towards a big season for you. I'm looking forward to your season.
Thank you.
Once again, that's Brian Parker, the second or junior?
Second.
Brian Parker, the second, Duke redshirt junior offensive tackle.
Thanks for having me.
Once again, Brian Parker Jr. Check the second. I just asked that question. Second team All ACC last year. Phil Steele, third team preseason All American this year, and he's gonna and is popping up on a whole bunch of lists. Checking up next, I believe we'll be joined by one of his Duke teammates. Stick around. Sitting down with us now here at ACC Kickoff in Charlotte. We just finished talking with Brian Parker, a guy on a lot of preseason All-American lists for Duke. We bring in another guy on a bunch of preseason All-American lists for Duke, Chandler Rivers, Duke senior quarterback, first team All-ACC a year ago. Chandler, first of all, thank you for taking the time.
Thanks for having me.
So I was literally just on your right, and before these interviews, I'm trying to see a little bit into the life of the players. And you're one of the few. Your Instagram is nothing but football. It is every post, the entirety of your account's existence is football. Is there anything else you like to do? Is there anything else you like to spend your time with?
Honestly, I'm a big family person. So as much as I can get around my family, I want to be around my family. And like as of right now, being in Darien, North Carolina, my team is my family. So it's everything outside of workouts, and that's just what my life is, honestly.
When you're hanging out with your brothers on the team, what are you doing, right?
Yeah, I mean, everything you can possibly think of. Like we're going out to eat together. Like we might go find a random place like down there in Raleigh. Like just whatever that we feeling like doing that day, we just go out and do. Whether it's just go chill outside, just talk. Like, we talk about life because we are older team here. We've all been through anything you could probably imagine about football. So I mean, just sharing our stories and just growing together, like his life after football. So.
I was just talking with Brian Parker. He brought up the same thing that you're a veteran team this year. A lot of old guys that have been around for a while. How is that different maybe than teams you contributed to earlier that had big wins and brought game day to campus and they're trying to turn around Duke? But how is it different this year with so many vets?
I feel like honestly it's different this year with so many vets because when we were the younger guys, like Brian West, like when we were the younger guys, like we were the ones like on the field most of the time. So now that we are the older guys, like we've all been in those situations. Like we've been playing, we played on the team, played a big part of the team that played in college game day or whatever. So it's like now that we're the older guys on the team, it's just like we've been here before. Like we're not trying to go do anything. We're expecting to do it now, and that's just what we put our confidence in. Work that we put in with.
Chandler Rivers, All-American corner for Duke, joining us here at ACC Kickoff. One thing you didn't mention that you do with your teammates is play the video game, College Football 26. I have it on the ratings that you are the 14th highest rated player in the entire game.
That's awesome.
Any position, any school, 14th highest rated player in the game. How much bragging rights does that give you in the locker room? I mean, the game, your ratings, I know it's a thing.
Yeah, I mean, it gives me quite a few bragging rights, but I mean, honestly, my teammates, when they play against me, whatever, they just like to go at my player for some reason.
That's better than going against your player if you're not rated high, right?
Yeah.
At least you get to make plays going back the other way.
At least I get to make some plays against them. I mean, it is honestly, it's a cool thing. Knowing that the work that was put in like the past off seasons, that is starting to show, and people are starting to see it.
Now, the ratings, obviously, they're fun to talk about,
Yeah.
but they're kind of goofy, right?
Yeah.
When you're looking at the preseason accolades, like I brought up, some All-American nods, all ACC, and things like that. I'm also seeing like second, third round projections for the NFL. Have you maybe seeked out any feedback on what they're looking for to turn that into a first round projection?
Honestly, I don't know, but I mean, my coach, I trust him. I trust what he sees on film. So whatever he feels like is a flaw in my game, we're gonna make that better. That's just been the goal this whole offseason. That's part of like why I decided to come back and play with these guys and just play under my coach. Like I trust him with everything, honestly.
All right. Speaking of unfinished business, did some digging.
Mhm.
Second in Texas in the high school long jump.
Yeah.
What happened, man? Like who? Second almost worse than third, right?
Yeah.
You're right there. What happened?
I mean, the guy that beat me, he had popped off in one good jump. I think that's like the third jump. He popped off in one good jump, and I was like, I don't think I'm beating that. But at least it wasn't just like a random guy. It was actually a guy that's playing college football now. So I mean,
Do you know who it is?
yeah, it's Evan Stewart.
Oh, really?
Oregon, yeah, he actually beat me in state.
Okay, so is there a desire to match up with him one day, maybe on the football field, get a little revenge? Because Evan Stewart, again, speaking of NFL projections, a wide receiver that a lot of people are really excited about.
I mean, honestly, that would be cool. Like Texas boys going at it. I mean, that would be cool. Honestly,
What's it like being a Texas boy in Durham, North Carolina?
it's different. Yeah, it's different. Like, I mean, when I first got to North Carolina, a lot of the stuff was kind of crazy. What I was feeling like I'm not used to this. And then one big thing that my teammates talk to me about, whatever, is like the weather. Like, and from Southeast Texas, like it's hot year round. Like it's never cold. And our cold is like 60, 70. That's our cold. So when I got out here and it's 60, 70, they're out here in shorts, tank top. I'm in sweatpants and hoodie. I'm like, bro, it's cold. Like, they're like, bro, it's not cold. This feels amazing. I'm like, nah, I can't do it. It's cold.
What about the barbecue? Everybody wants to talk about
Yeah.
the different sauces and everything from Texas to North Carolina. Can you get what you're looking for up here?
I mean, honestly, it's two different styles, honestly. Like, down there where I'm at is more of like, it's really just the season. It's season different, honestly. So they're both good, honestly, in my opinion, but the season a little bit different.
Chandler Rivers, Duke senior cornerback, joining us here on 99.9 The Fan. I saw you got the VIP treatment at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Yeah.
You got to see the NASCAR race up close and personal.
Yeah.
When hopefully long into the future, after the long football career is over, you get behind the wheel. Did you catch the bug?
I mean, when I went up there, shout out to my former teammate Al Blaze Jr. Shout out to him. He got us a few tickets out there because he kind of works on motor speedways and stuff. So, I mean, honestly, it was a cool experience. That was something like I never saw like behind the scenes of it, and it was like a lot of former football players get into that profession. It was cool to see, honestly. So, I mean, maybe you never know.
All right, let's get a couple of football questions here.
Yeah.
As far as I often say nobody knows the offense better than the guys that go against them in practice.
Yeah.
So, who's the toughest guy to cover on the Duke offense?
We got a lot of tough guys to cover. I mean, you got Samir Hagans, you got Sean Brown, call him Queso. Like, you got
Queso?
You call him Queso
because he's got the cheese. Is that
honestly? I don't know why they started calling him that, but that's just what they call him. Like, we got a few young guys that are going to be great in this program. Like, you have Chase Tyler, you have Jaden Moore, brother of Jordan Moore. So it's just I feel like we got a lot of different kinds of receivers in our receiving room. It's honestly a blessing to have to go against.
What's the difference between going against some good ones, right? The Riley Leonard, the Malik Murphys, and now Darian Mensah shows up, 7-on-7 in those opportunities. What do you see from him?
I mean, honestly, he surprised me when he first got here. I'm like, okay, this kid can actually play. Like, so he brings a lot of excitement to the offense, and I'm ready to see it like come to play in the fall. He's a great person, like, even better teammate. So it's going to be cool seeing him play this year.
With so few guys leaving in the transfer portal, and I mean, Duke's just doing it differently than other teams where it seems like they're changing over the roster. When there's a new guy like that, it's an important position. How do you integrate him into, you, Bryant West, have been around together and know each other so well?
I mean, I feel like, honestly, like, the quarterback position in college football in general is just crazy. Like, you can have a different quarterback every year, but you got the same like 14. But honestly, for him, it wasn't hard bringing him in. Honestly, he came in like put his head down, went to work. Like he wasn't really a strong vocal guy. He still really isn't like a strong vocal guy, but like you can feel like his leadership. Honestly, like the quarterback, the quarterbacks walk around like with confidence. And he has the confidence. I'm excited to like play with him.
Chandler, good luck this season. We're looking forward to watching you.
Thanks for having me.
Once again, that is Chandler Rivers, Duke senior cornerback, joining us here at ACC Kickoff. Appreciate his time, and I believe we will very shortly here be joined by that player we were just talking about right at the end of the Chandler Rivers interview, which is Darian Mensah. And actually, we're gonna double dip here, and I believe have Mensah and Manny Diaz, the head coach, sitting down at about the same time. So we'll be back in hopefully just a couple seconds here at ACC Kickoff. We're good. Welcome back into 99.9 The Fan, the drive with Tim Donnelly, joined by one of the newer quarterbacks to the Triangle, Darian Mensah, redshirt sophomore quarterback for the Duke Blue Devils. Darian, first of all, appreciate your time, and actually your coach, Manny Diaz, is going to sit down with us. Both of you looking sharp today. Looking, I guess you could say like $1 million. So we'll start there. What's it like adding a couple millions to your net worth here as you make your transition to Duke?
It's been good to say the least.
Yeah.
I feel like my team's done a great job. I feel like the main thing is football. You know what I'm saying? And I've been focused on that. And I kind of just let my team, into the business side of things. But it's been good.
Listening to some of the quotes and comments about how you ended up at Duke as we worked to get the headset working for Coach here. You've been quoted saying, like, at first you were a little surprised maybe that Duke popped up on the list of top targets, even outside of the NIL and kind of financial component. What were you missing? Like, what did you learn about Duke that made it the spot?
I think the man sitting next to me was a big factor in that. I'm an elite head coach. An elite conference like the ACC, extremely competitive. And that, the offense, I feel like once I got to see the offense and how much, freedom I'll have, and the way I get to throw vertically, which is stuff I like to do, those were three of the biggest things that I did.
Coach, now that we get your headset working, is that what you're up against, right? A player like Darien hits the portal and he says he was surprised that Duke ended up being one of the top teams that he was interested How do you kind of make it not a surprise when guys have a ton of options to seek out Duke?
Well, I think it'll be less of a surprise now that someone like Darren chose our program. What I'm most proud of is we were able to establish an identity offensively last year, even though we were still going through some growing pains of year one. That would attract a player of his caliber, and for him to see what he can become in this offense, that matters. But then the second part of it is, at Duke, we're very unique in terms of the players we attract. We have a lot of like-minded guys in our locker room because of the academic requirements around him. And the position he plays, everybody's got to really trust and be one of the guys. And the more I got to know him, he was a perfect fit in our locker room. And now that he's been on our campus for 8 months or whatever it's been, our guys look back at him and they respect back at him.
I heard him say freedom within the offense. How much freedom are you giving a guy like Darien? Is it change the play at the line freedom? Is it sighted? Like how much can he really take control of this offense?
I mean, he can describe maybe what that word means, but our quarterbacks are sort of the point guard, and so they have a lot of decisions they can make during the play in terms of handing the ball down the field. Our ability to press the ball down the field. We want to be a vertical defensive coach. It only makes sense that I would want an offensive scheme that defensive coaches don't like to go against. And the things that defenses don't like to see are the things that we want to be able to hang our hat on with what we do on offense.
Darren, when you said freedom, now that I've kind of pressed coach on it, what were you talking about when freedom within an offense for the quarterback?
Yeah, like you said, going up the line, dissecting the defense, which things to play if I need to, or like you said, we run a lot of RPOs or handing the ball off or throwing down the field or throwing the bubble versus nickel fire, like anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Or that's some of the freedom I'm talking about.
We have Darian Mensah, Duke redshirt sophomore quarterback, and Manny Diaz here with us at ACC Kickoff. With playing on the schedule, and Coach, I asked you a very similar question last year with Miami because sitting here at these spots. Do you have advice for him maybe on facing a club that he has a bit of history with?
We'll talk. You can talk through that when the time comes. And as you mentioned, going to Miami last year, and look, there's the pregame and what you'll think about it, and then once the game starts, the game is just a game. It's all, and we always talk about our opponents being nameless and faceless, and the ball needs to go where the ball needs to go, and I think they're going to be really excited, and our team will be really excited to rally around him as well in that atmosphere.
Darien, Duke, and I've talked with Brian Parker about this. I've talked with Chandler Rivers about this. One of the more impressive things, and credit to coach, is not many guys leaving the transfer portal. Right, it's near the bottom of national numbers as far as guys leaving in the transfer portal. When it seems like it's becoming more and more common. What's it like as the new guy on a team where everybody, it seems, has been playing together since their freshman year?
It's been great. I feel like the guys have been super welcoming, supportive of me, and they're kind of like we're all like-minded. I feel like I'm here for a reason, and I'm comfortable here just because everyone around me, we're all wired the same. And so it's been nice, getting to know the guys, being around them. Everybody's the same. But I feel like our culture starts in the weight room, and I feel like that's a big part of why no one's transferring. And I feel like our strength staff has done a great job, and our coaching staff has done a great job.
What guys have you clicked with maybe off the field? Like, who are you hanging out with?
All my receivers. Those are
what a great quarterback.
Those are my guys. I took them to Tampa for a trip, and we had a great time. And then Chandler Rivers, he's a stud defensive D, which keeps me on edge. You know what I'm saying? He's a great player, and so he elevates my game each and every day, and I make sure I'm on 10 every day. So those are a few of the guys.
You took them down to Tampa for a little excursion?
Yeah, just train, throw some routes, build that chemistry.
That's
nice
a very NFL thing, right? You see that, it used to be Jets West with Mark Sanchez was kind of the first one. How do you even, come up with the idea / the execution of something like that for your offense?
I just thought it'd be, I had a little time off, and I thought it'd be a great idea to go down to Tampa, nice weather. My agent lives down there, so he kind of helped me out with that, and all the guys down there. I feel like my team has done a great job and helped me with off the field stuff. So that's kind of how it came about, and it was a great time.
Coach, have you gotten used to stuff like this? My agent helped me take all my wide receivers down to Tampa for some working outs. It's got to be a completely different kind of off season for you as somebody that's been in college football for a long time.
Yeah, but you adapt, right? You roll with it. And I think that's a special thing about being at Duke is that the more the sport tries to push towards being transactional, Duke is still transformation. There's still something happening here more than just what can you do, what service can you provide, and what can we give you for the services that you provide. And I think that's a big piece of why the kids don't transfer. Not only do they really enjoy this company, but when your parents drop you off at Duke, they want to see you walk across that stage, shake the president's hand, and so it helps us be able to develop our guys. Darien mentioned we think the best strength program in the country, and so the guys we get in, we can put them through here, and that is a little bit of the old school. So we can embrace new elements to the game and still have an old school mentality about us. And I think a lot of other programs can't.
I was on your week, and I don't know if you agree with this, but they call you the mastermind of the turnover chain from your time in Miami, which is kind of a cool title. But obviously that means you can vibe with the swag of the team. How would you describe this year's Duke swagger? Without sounding like the oldest guy on the planet, like I did when I just
yeah. Well, we won't be wearing chains walking into the stadium. I think the most important thing when you talk about swagger is our guys walk into a stadium now and they believe that they're going to win. And the biggest thing we've talked about is establishing. And this is not because of me. This is because of our players. That when we show up, if we play our best will beat your best. And we don't care who you are. We don't need you to screw it up to win. And I think taking a program and moving from we're hoping to win to expecting to win. Now, that doesn't mean we're going to win. But you cannot win if you're hoping. So just that expectation gives us a chance every week to do something special.
I know Darien has a bunch more interviews, but I'm sure he wants to come on the cleats and go work out or something for that. Coach, we appreciate you and Darien as well.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much.